idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runza sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Bill. Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened. Just
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson with USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.
Good evening, Coyote fans. Welcome into Season 2, Episode 12 of the Howling Podcast. Chad Berger, Mark Wendt, yours truly. We're all here. We're ready to go, ready to recap a great week in Coyote Athletics. New friend of the show, head coach, USD Swim and Dive, Jason Mhowald. We'll chat with him in just a couple minutes here. Looking forward to visiting with him about his squad, the new natatorium, and other things. We'll recap the fantastic week that was in Coyote Athletics, as well as look ahead to upcoming events this week. To end the show, as always, Eyechart of the Week and our Dairy Queen Player of the Week. Some business first. Quick disclaimer, the opinions on this show are ours and do not represent USD or USD Athletics. The social channels, you can find us on X at HowlWithUs3, myself at JD6OP5, Mark at WDiamond605, and Chad at Chad Berger, BIRGER at Chad Berger. If you're joining on Facebook, thank you. If you haven't yet, just search the Howling Podcast. Please like and follow. You can comment on the live video for questions for Coach Mahowald or really any comments about the week. We'll be happy to share those on the screen throughout the episode. On YouTube, if you're joining live there, thank you. If not, search the Howling Podcast. That's the Howling Podcast. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. Just like Facebook, if you're joining us on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment, questions, your Eyechart of the Week nominees, all the good stuff, and we'll be sure to get that on the screen. As always, tonight's show is brought to you by our friends at 19 Brewing Company in Vermilion. So before we get going tonight, a quick word from Katie at 19 Brewing Company.
Looking for a place where good beer meets better company? Welcome to 19 Brewing Company, Vermilion's first craft brewery and home to Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale. Brought to you by 2 USD alumni, Coyote Legacy isn't just any beer. It's a chance to give back to student scholarships while enjoying a refreshing blonde ale. With 12 rotating taps, a flavor-it-yourself seltzer, and homemade root beer, we have something for every Coyote fan. 19 Brewing Company. Good beer, better company.
We'll bring in Chad and Mark now. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Great week.
I woke up with a glorious hangover this morning. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
10 out of 10.
Did anyone have a better? I was gonna say, did anyone have a better weekend than the Yotes?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So we should probably talk about this, huh?
Let's do it.
Well,
we're here.
Mark, go ahead and give us the week's results.
As you might have heard, we beat South Dakota State in football yesterday afternoon. 24-17 victory for the Yotes. Volleyball had a 2-win week, beating Omaha and Kansas City, both 3-1. Triathlon was out in Arizona, finished 5th at the Collegiate Triathlon Championships. Chelsea Weber finished 12th, and I don't think I turned off my machine, so hopefully it doesn't go off when I say Alexa finished 15th. No, we made it. Women's basketball crossover season is here. A new look women's basketball team, exciting basketball team. We'll get into that in a little bit. Defeated York 104-33 and Air Force 75-50. Got a piece of video from that game, which is super fun. Men's basketball off to a little bit of a more rough start, but fighting. Lost to Utah Tech in overtime. Went to Creighton, fought them pretty hard for a half. And this afternoon, defeated Ozark Christian 121-65.
All right. Well, that sounds like a fantastic week.
Very good week.
Yeah. Jordan, you want to talk about our guest?
Yes. So he is in the midst of his 21st season as the head coach of USD Swim and Dive, as he calls it, the blackjack year. As you can see here, we got got to meet him at the Summit League tournament. Definitely not photoshopped in there, Coach. And believe it or not, we are, I don't even know the right term, distantly related. Some cousin or another. Our great grandpas were brothers. So we're going to welcome in Coach Jason Mhowald. Coach, thanks for being on tonight.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
So, Coach, I will, if it's all right with Chad and Mark, I'll lead off with the question. Let's just start with the obvious here from folks that, they pay attention to the results, but want to know a little bit more about your teams this year.
Yeah, we're very young this year. A lot of really good freshmen, sophomores, very small senior class for me. I think we have 7 seniors between our men and women. In the past couple of years, we've had, 23, 24, 33 seniors graduate. So we're a very young team for us, but huge learning curve for them right now. And we're seeing a lot of early improvement and some freshmen coming along faster than maybe we thought they would, which is good coming into kind of some big meets here coming up. But overall, team's young, youthful, and ready to go.
All right, Coach. A lot of us are maybe not as experienced with attending swim meets, swim matches. If we were to attend, what types of things should we be looking to do, and how do we cheer at these things? These are always questions that we have.
Well, one thing we need to make the Eyechart's got to make an appearance at the natatorium, right? I don't know what our Eyechart of the moment would be at a swim meet, but I'm sure we can find one for sure. In the new natatorium, it's really kind of a great venue to really come and watch a swim meet if you've never been to one before. We've got permanent seating for about 500 fans. We have a landing area with the concession stand and stuff that kind of overlooks the entire natatorium. And one of the big things we can do this year is we can showcase swimming and diving at the same time. So a meet that, in the past when we were in the Dakota Dome would have taken 4.5, 5 hours is now taking 1 hour and 45, 2 hours. It's loud. There's a lot of exciting races that happen throughout the meet, but it's a fun experience if you've never been to one. We've got some really great athletes doing some really amazing things. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is I'd love to look up in the stands and see Mark and the Eyechart hanging over the front balcony here at some point in time.
We're going to make that happen.
Not to call you out, Mark, but we need to get you over here.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. Coach, I was reading through your bio, and I don't mean to make you feel old, but you were a former North Central Conference Coach of the Year.
Yes.
You've been around a little bit.
Yes, I have.
And the other thing I was going to say is it's been said that there's no such thing as a stupid question. I might test that theory a little bit here. So my first question to you is, we discussed it a couple of weeks ago here when we were going through results. There was a tri-dual, I believe you had at Minnesota. Can you explain what a tri-dual is, number one?
So a tri-dual for us is when we have 3 teams will come, we'll all race one time, but we score it out like 3 different meets. So, we'll swim Nebraska and Minnesota at the same time, but we score them out as separate meets. So we have a meet against Minnesota and a meet against Nebraska. That's completely separate. And then Minnesota and Nebraska have a meet, but we only swim once. So it's a way for us to get a few more meets in, but with not as many swims, if that makes sense.
2 birds, 1 stone kind of deal.
Yep.
Coach, the natatorium, how involved were you with the planning and the design of the facility?
We're extremely fortunate here that we have an unbelievable president and President Gestring. And she allowed me to be on the ground floor from the start of the project, helped with picking the design team, what we wanted from a pool layout, everything. Very, very fortunate to be part of the process. I've told a lot of my friends in the business, it's a crazy process to be a part of. It's exciting. I also told them, like, I don't know if I ever want to be a part of another capital project ever again, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time. But when you come into our natatorium and you see the final product, I'll tell you, it was worth every second of the time we got to spend on the little details. Being able to have, like I said, swimming and diving happen at the same time. Looking at the holistic picture of it too, like not just my team, but the community, getting the steam room, the hot tub, the ninja cross, all that stuff was, really spearheaded by President Gestring, but being a part of that process is just awesome. And if you guys haven't, or listeners haven't gotten over here yet to see it, they really should, because it is, it's easily one of the best aquatic facilities in the Midwest. And it's in Vermilion, South Dakota, of all places. So you need to come on over and check it out.
It looks beautiful, Coach. Is there anything you couldn't or didn't get that you wanted?
That, talk about a loaded question, Jordan. There's obviously things when you go through a project of this magnitude that you kind of have on the wish list, that maybe don't make it to the final end product. But overall, no, there's nothing in here that we didn't want, that we didn't get. And again, that's a true testament to, like, when we set out to build this facility, we were looking to make sure that we were going to have a top tier, aquatic center for our swimming and diving team, that we were going to have those aspects for the community. And, I'll put up our facility against, half of the Big Ten, half of the SEC, that we would knock them out of the park in what we have here.
Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about your season and your scheduling and things like that. One of the biggest questions that I've always had with swimming and diving is, when are you in season and when are you not in season? It feels like you're in season all the time. I mean, you started in early October, you kind of wrap up your fall part of the season here in the end of November, but then you pick it up again in January and you go till March. How is that season determined, and how do you work on scheduling there?
You know what, Chad, I get asked that same question by my wife and kids. When am I in season, out of season? We do have a long season going over both semesters, right? We start in August, and we really do try to break it up into 2 seasons for our kids. So we go August and we go hard through October here, and then we'll rest our kids here for a meet coming up at St. Thomas here in 2 weeks. And then we kind of back off a little bit in December, get them through finals. Then we'll pick it back up in January. And then the last week in February is our conference championships. And then NCAAs for us is the 3rd week in March. So there really isn't an off season in the school year. We do really back off of them a ton in March and April. If you ask my team, they would tell you April is their favorite month of the year, because I only can have them for 8 hours a week then. But, we do have, like I said, 2 separate seasons. If you're liken it to like track, we kind of think of like indoor, outdoor kind of, but we're always indoors. But that fall season gets done here again in that 3rd week in November, and then we'll kind of crank back up and gear up for the championships in February.
Coach, so with the new pool, I assume recruiting gets a little bit easier for you. I'm curious about where you find the kids. Like, I went to high school in North Central South Dakota. I'm unaware of any swim team up there, so I'm just curious what. Sorry for the pun, but what pool of kids are you drawing from? Yeah,
I mean, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that our associate coach Anthony Harris is an amazing recruiter. Does an amazing job at getting out and finding the kids that are going to be a great fit for us and Vermilion and USD. We're without high school swimming in the state of South Dakota. It does make it a little difficult to get some of those homegrown kids. Both Sioux Falls, Mitchell, Rapid City, their club programs have grown quite a bit here in the last 5-10 years. So we do have, right now, I think we might have the most South Dakota kids we've had on our roster in a long time. I think we have 6 or 7 South Dakota kids right now. But for the most part, we're looking at the 5-state region around us. We're going after Iowa kids, Nebraska kids, Minnesota kids, Wisconsin, with the reciprocity agreements we have with like Colorado and Illinois now, we're starting to pull from Denver and Chicago a little bit. The great thing about swimming though is a time's a time, and you're either fast or you're not fast. So we can find the kids that fit kind of the time range we're looking for. And then the process is just trying to find that right fit, who's gonna like Vermilion, who's gonna like swimming for Coach Anthony and I. And like I said, Coach Anthony does an amazing job of finding the right kids because we've got, I think, 59 kids right now, and they're all amazing, hard workers, just great kids to work with.
Coach, to keep on the recruiting, the spotlight of the change in recruiting the past, 5 years, football and basketball, right? But for other Olympic sports, since you've started, how has recruiting changed for you and your staffs throughout the years?
Well, this is one that I can talk to you a lot about because, when I started coaching here, we were cold calling kids, right? We were getting phone numbers out of the yellow pages, calling high schools to get phone numbers. And there was a stretch there where we couldn't get kids on the phone. They wouldn't pick up and answer the phone. And I was old school and I refused to text message. I thought it was impersonal. And I would tell you, probably in my first 10 years, our recruiting was 10% text, email, 90% phone calls. And now I would tell you, it's flipped. It's 90% text message, emails, social media contacts. I always joke I could call a kid 6 times in a row and not have him pick up, and I shoot him a text and I got a response in about 2 seconds. So, that change over the 20 years I've been here is big, but then even in the last, 4 or 5 years with a lot of these kids have a huge social media presence. They're getting contacted earlier and earlier, which has pushed our timeline for, we're now talking to kids sooner and sooner, and trying to get them interested in looking at USD even earlier than we would have 5-10 years ago, which is not foreign to a lot of the other sports, right? Basketballs, footballs have been doing that for a long time, but for us Olympic sports, that's a big change for us. I mean, 10 years ago, we were talking to kids in their senior year and getting them to come for visits. Now we're having to start watching them when they're 9th and 10th graders and, having them on campus when they're juniors to try to have them committed before they're a senior, which is a big shift for us. It was definitely a hard change, I think, for our staff at first, but now that we're in it, I don't think we'd want to go back to the old ways, but it's been a big change over the last couple of years, that's for sure.
Coach, looking at schedules, you got, your fall season is kind of, wrapped up as far as home meets go. You said you have the one coming up here in a couple weeks. That's up in the Twin Cities in St. Paul. But then this spring, you've got, St. Paul, you've got at Omaha, but then you've got a couple at home, including versus South Dakota State on Saturday, January 24th. It's scheduled for a 1:00 start time there. We also have a men's basketball game at home the same day, 1:00. Who do we need to talk to get these staggered so that we can attend, make it a whole day ordeal, and cheer on the Yotes the entire day?
I'm sure Petey will move his basketball game. Like we can get Eric on right now. I'm sure he'll gladly move the start time. No, I think you make it to both. Why not? Come to ours and watch the start of the swim meet and get over to watch the end of the basketball game or vice versa. I believe the 24th against South Dakota State, I think that is going to be our Code Red event for swimming and diving this season. So hopefully we get a good chunk of student athletes out for that one. It will be the first time all season that we go straight head to head with South Dakota State. We will see them a couple times at some invites here. But it will be our first chance to go head to head with them in the new natatorium. And, I can tell you this, anytime and every time that we face each other head to head, it is a heavyweight fight. It's two teams throwing haymakers after haymakers, and it's always a fun experience to swim against them.
So I don't know if you followed much of the conversation on social media with the football matchup from this past weekend, but are we working on a traveling trophy or something for the head-to-head versus South Dakota State in swimming and diving?
Oh, that would be fun. I don't know what we get for swimming and diving. I don't know if we get a ratty old Speedo that the coach has to wear if they lose. I'm not sure what we do for that. But I think you could probably convince both me and Doug to do almost about anything.
I'm going to veto this ratty old Speedo thing. I don't know, but
maybe we can get the AD for the losing team to wear a Speedo or something like that. I'm sure we can convince John of that.
Oh my! We'll clip this and send it to him.
yeah, clip it. Coach Jordan mentioned your 21st year. What keeps you in Vermilion?
Vermilion does, right? I'm extremely fortunate. I've found a way to make money doing something I'm very passionate about, coaching college swimming. But Vermilion and USD allows me to have a tremendous work-life balance that I don't think I could have at any other Division I institution. Right? I get to coach. I've coached all three of my boys' soccer teams. I don't miss many of my kids' own sporting events. I get to go home for lunch. I think Vermilion has so much to offer from a family balance life standpoint. And then USD itself is just an easy sell, right? I can with my whole heart tell kids you're going to get a great education here. We're not going to bankrupt you doing it. You're going to have a great swimming experience. We're going to help you get better. It's an easy sell, and it's a great place to have a family and raise a family. And I don't think that was necessarily our plan when I was 24, moving to Vermilion, South Dakota. But as you all know, once you're here, Vermilion has a way of really making you fall in love with it.
Coach, the guys, I don't know how earlier this season, put a tweet out there that if a tweet got 1,000 likes, I would have to dive off the high dive in the natatorium. And as of 15 minutes ago, we are 960 likes short. Now, in the small but potential odds that this happens, any tips for me while I'm standing? How high is it? 12 feet, 10 feet?
It's about 12 feet. I would start with making sure the suit's tied. That would be my first word for advice.
Yeah.
Double knot that thing. Maybe do some push-ups and sit-ups before we go live on camera. But other than that, hold tight and go for it. But I'm ashamed that I'm ashamed we're 960 likes away. I think we need to push this a little bit more.
Chad has tried to retweet it at least 8 or 9 times. At least that's the notifications I get. So
well,
I don't know why people aren't jumping on this. I don't get it.
This is bad news for you, Jordan, because I've got 60 athletes who all have a huge social media presence. So I'm going to have to dig and find this and see if we can't get this up to 1,000 here pretty quick.
Oh, it'll be in your DMs here and shortly after the show.
Love it. I'm on board with this. Let's do this.
I figured the number one piece of advice was making sure that the trunks are tightened, because I've absolutely made that mistake.
And I don't know Mark or Chad well enough, but I wouldn't take any suit that they give you to wear either.
Well, no. Now, if we're gonna go with they're picking out the suit, that raises it to at least 5,000.
Deal's a deal.
Hold on. You can't switch the rules here. Come on now.
The deal was never you guys, because you're gonna pick a Speedo, which I'm comfortable with who and what I am, but I don't want to jump in a Speedo. I haven't worn them since college.
I don't think we want to see you in a Speedo either.
I don't either.
Coach, you mentioned the Code Red happening, and we've talked to, athletes and coaches from other programs on campus, but one of the unique things about the University of South Dakota is that all of the athletes and teams support the other athletes and teams and programs on campus. Tell us a little bit about that. And do you have any plans coming up for maybe this winter for getting your athletes out there to support others?
Yeah. Madison Mills and the Student Athlete Advisory Committee came up with this idea, I think 2 years ago, of starting the Code Red events. And it's an amazing effort to get our student athletes out to support other student athletes. And they've been just amazing events. I think we talked pregame or pre-show a little bit, Chad, about our men going to the volleyball game last year in their Speedos. I think we'll try to push that again this year a little bit. We have our event coming up on the 24th of January. It's just so fun to see them get out and support their fellow student athletes. These are kids that they cross paths in the weight room, in the training room, in study hall, study tables. A lot of these student athletes are tutors for each other and stuff. And, I think it's just an awesome experience to watch our student athletes go and get immersed in a different sport. I think last year we had our tennis Code Red event was against Denver. If tennis matches aren't greatly attended, right? And we had to teach some of our kids some rules, and we had a pretty loud crowd. And we ended up costing the Denver girl got so frustrated, she ended up losing the match. It was her only loss in Summit League history. And it's because of our Code Red fans cheering. And what an amazing thing. I mean, to truly kind of have that, what is that Texas, the 12th man type of a deal. What a cool experience for our student athletes to experience. And, I know our tennis team appreciated that. And I'm sure we'll have some of that same type of stuff here at ours in January.
Yeah, I will say I was at that tennis match, and that was amazing. That was a great atmosphere. They had pizza out there for all the kids, and it was just fantastic atmosphere.
Coach, you mentioned you have a lot of athletes with maybe a little bit of a social media following. We like to tell people around here, an athlete on your team, for instance, cares just as much as Aiden Bauman does about their team succeeding. Could you give us some names of some guys and gals on your team that might be a good future friend of the show?
Yeah. I mean, we have a senior guy, Matthew Sorby, who's doing some amazing things. He's on the NCAA SAC board. So he's doing some things nationally with the NCAA. We've got Camilla Anderson's a senior from Denmark who's finishing out a senior career who's going to have a great championship coming up. And we have some young stars coming out of the woodwork here. Henley Hatson is from Minnesota. She's going to be a great addition for us. And a name I'd tell you to watch for this season is Nick Rounds. He had a great freshman year, was runner-up in the 100 back, had a phenomenal summer here. He's going to do some amazing things here yet this year. He's already put up times this season that would have won events last year at the Summit League Championship. So those are kind of the people I tell you to follow. But like I said, come to the NAT and check out a meet because it's more than just those four. There's a lot of kids out here that are fun to watch.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. You mentioned Sorby. Is that a brother? Wasn't there a Sorby 2, 3, 4 years ago?
Yep, I've had all three Sorby boys. I've had Josh, Kyle, and Matthew.
Right on.
So, and they assure me there's not a fourth brother I don't know about. So Matthew will be the last one.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time tonight to join us, Coach. It's always good to get to know coaches a little bit, and this is one of those opportunities that you have to put yourself out there in front of some fans and talk about your program a little bit. And so we really appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me, and I look forward to seeing Mark and the Eyechart over here in January.
Going to happen. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks,
Great
guys.
to see you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Coach. That was amazing. The Coyotes are just so stacked with amazing people. Everyone that we've had on so far this season, just absolutely spectacular.
Can't
A
miss.
plus guy. It's
Can't
that
miss.
Decker Mahowald family thing. I tell you what, they're just A plus here.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah, good stuff. We did have a comment here. Mr. Brightside said 2 opportunities to experience the Natty, and we mentioned the January 24th one. That's against South Dakota State in Vermilion, but then January 30th and 31st, the Coyote Invite will take place. So great place to watch a swim meet. Don't miss out.
We gotta get there. I
pretty
want to
much,
see it.
Pretty much have to get there after that interview. So we'll be there.
I'm blocking off January 24th on my calendar right now as we speak. And I'm just going to plan on, I don't know, being in Vermilion from the entire day. Basketball, swimming, diving. I don't know. We'll see what else is going on. Maybe hit
You're
up
right, though,
19
Chad.
Brewing Company.
I mean, it would be nice. You're right, though. It'd be nice to stagger those times a little bit if we can talk to somebody to figure that out.
Are we showing up in Speedos to the swim
No,
event?
absolutely not.
Okay. Just
No.
who out there wants to sponsor that?
People will pay us not to wear Speedos, I believe. People will be put some clothes on.
I mean, it's prime advertising space. Anyways, let's move on.
Okay, good idea. As far as moving on, Jordan, do you want to talk about our newest sponsor here, Dairy Queen?
Yes. Many thanks to Lonnie Heyer of Dairy Queen, Vermilion, Hartford, Del Rapids. They are the new sponsor of our Player of the Week segment. I have a feeling you guys, at the listeners, will be familiar with the Player of the Week this week once again. So, but anyways, Dairy Queen's got their holiday treat menu out. They got the holiday Nog Shake, the Frosted Sugar Cookie Blizzard, my favorite, and then the new Peppermint Bark Blizzard. Now, I was going to try to get this on the way out of town on Saturday, but turns out the celebration in Vermilion lasted a little longer, so they were closed by the time we were leaving Verm. So I'll report back next week. But Frosted Sugar Cookie Blizzard, Holiday Nog Shake, and the Peppermint Bark Blizzard. So many thanks to Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids for being our Player of the Week sponsor.
Jordan, you and I up at USD Sioux Falls, we're not too far away from Hartford. Maybe we could just run up there for lunch
road
someday.
trip?
Yeah, let's make it work. So we'll have to find a time when you're actually in the office. But yeah, Frosted Sugar Cookie. I mean, goodness gracious, we got another Decker joining in here, but fantastic. You know,
he does listen. Shout out Joe, little bro, love it.
All right. Well, next up, DQ wants to help our good friend and quarterback Aiden Bauman in the battle to help fight kids cancer, fight against kids cancer. And so Aiden's doing this thing with the Alex's Lemonade Stand. Yep. And so you can donate to this cause. And if you do, go ahead and you can click on the QR code. Just open up your phone. I know a lot of you watching right now are, you have technology, so you've all got a smartphone. Just go ahead and get your smartphone out, get the camera app up, hold it up to your screen right now, and there should be a little link that pops up right underneath your screen on the camera app. And if you click on that link, it'll bring you to a page where you can donate to support Aiden Bauman. Just when you click on that, underneath where it says donation display, it asks you for your donor nickname. Go ahead and put either your X handle on there, or you can put your real name as well. And then underneath the donation note, type in Dairy Queen. And if you want to put something about the Howling Podcast on there as well, go ahead and do so. And then as soon as you make any donation, come find us at a Yotes game, and we've got some DQ gifts to give out.
Yep, and we got a few donations related to this specific Dairy Queen thing. So many thanks to those that have donated. And guys, $5, $10, $20, whatever you can free will donation to this cause. It's for the kids. And Aiden has I think I just looked, it's about a $300 lead over Chase Mason of SDSU. So some fun competition between the fan bases. I got it pulled up here. They've the FCS Nation and Northwestern Mutual total amount raised $48,407 this year, which is just incredible. But between Aiden and Chase, it's over $33,000 of that. And there's, I think, close to 20 different players. So shout out to both fan bases. I know we get competitive with one another, and it's kind of cool to see it for such a great cause. So if you're watching on the computer, please scan the QR code. Any donation to Aiden's particular cause for this, we'll make sure to get you a free Dairy Queen gift card.
And if you are watching on your phone, I can tell you how to do that as well, but it's going to take a little bit more time to scan the QR code. So just hit me up in the DMs and I can tell you how to get the link for that. I did want to mention $5. Come on. It's not that much. Just donate $5. Come on.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
A little foreshadowing. Uh-oh.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on. News and notes, Mark.
News and notes. I was honored to be a guest on the Splitting Hairs podcast. I know maybe some Yote fans are aware of that podcast and have muted it, but had a nice chat with Kyle, almost a full hour with him. Great guy. Really enjoyed our conversation. So shout out to Kyle for allowing me to do that. Coach Leanne Williamson, after her victory over Kansas City this weekend, became the all-time leader in total and conference wins in Summit League history. So we always knew she was the best coach in the Summit League. Now science proves it. So congrats to Coach Williamson, friend of the show. Another friend of the show, Morgan Bodie, was named Summit League standout for her performance versus Kansas City. We'll get into that here in a bit. Nick Rounds named Summit League Peak Performer of the Week for Swim and Dive. We just talked to Coach about Nick, future friend of the show, perhaps. A lot of chatter this past week about traveling trophies with South Dakota State and the history and where the heck is the little brown jug. None of that's been figured out. It's still missing. And as we just mentioned, we have several Dairy Queen gift cards available. Make a donation to Alex's lemonade stand under Aiden Bauman's page there that we linked previously, and we'll hook you up with some DQ goodness.
Yeah. What a spectacular week. Extremely happy for Coach Williamson. That's a tremendous accomplishment, but fantastic. I don't know how to say congratulations enough to Coach Williamson, friend of the show, awesome person. Every time I talk with her, just, great. And to have her at USD in Vermilion, such a treat. So,
yep. Her whole staff.
All right. Well, there was a football game on Saturday, guys. I don't know if you heard much about going into it. Well, anyways, South Dakota State came to town, and the Yotes, ho-hum, 24-17 victory. Nothing much happened, did it, guys?
No, not much to say about that. 72 and sunny, though. I like they added the sunny. That's new, isn't it?
It usually says indoors. There.
Right.
Yeah. 91-59, the attendance.
It sounded all of that.
Yeah. And, we know there wasn't good. There was probably more that could have been there. Mother Nature, some people just don't want to risk it. Totally fine. I thought the atmosphere was great.
Also, I would say they did the Yotes were in all red and the Jacks were in all blue. Let's do that every year. That was awesome. It visually really, really cool.
Much better than the ketchup mustard
correct
combo they've tried. Visually appealing.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Great time.
So as far as the 91-59 goes, roughly what percentage on TV and everywhere I saw, it looked very, very red in there. What would you guys say the breakdown was there?
I don't know. What do you think, Jordan?
I thought it was pretty comparable. I got a picture from someone sitting on the east side, and you're right, Chad. There was definitely a lot more red, or I should say there wasn't as much blue as I thought there was going to be. But I mean, they still brought, probably a couple thousand fans. It looked pretty comparable to the NDSU game last year. where that, I think section H, that whole left side there, you know, that's pretty much all visitors, and then pockets of blue. But it wasn't as much as I thought they were going to bring, but obviously there's Mother Nature factors. But they were there, they were loud. They made for a really good atmosphere in the dome.
Yeah. As far as the game goes, you know, South Dakota State got off to a lead early. The Yotes came back, responded. It was back and forth there in the first half, ended up being 17-17 at halftime. And then second half, guys, we've been highlighting this. The Yotes defense is really, really, really good. And the defense just was lights out in the second half of this one.
Yeah, we've been saying it all year that they've probably played well enough to win all but 2 games all year, and that continued on Saturday. Just when we needed stops, we got stopped, and we'll highlight them here in a little bit. But DeJuan Lewis again with a big play. He does it week in and week out. So yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. The plays when they happened, you know, like the timing of everything was just it was a movie really, and it was one I'm glad I didn't miss.
Yeah, the only thing that State had an excellent drive to end the first half that just it kind of haunts you a little bit of one of those ones that's like, that is one we should have been able to stop, and just that one kind of stung a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, the defense outstanding. I thought Aiden was a tremendous general of the field, getting out of certain plays, but yeah, some missed opportunities. I thought this could have been a couple score game, but it is what it is. I mean, LJ Phillips he's really, really good at football.
Correct.
He's really, really good at football. And the offensive line, I mean, for how new and banged up and what have you with them, I mean, definitely a shout out to the O-line for this game too. Let's not talk about the first play of the game, though. We'll forget that.
Well, I wanted to mention one thing here, guys. So I was not one of the 9159. A lot of you know I do other media platforms and things like that. So I had a different football game in Sioux Falls that I was covering on that day. I was out in the snow. I would have much rather been in the dome, especially around 3:00. You know, when the team I was covering was down by 30 points or whatever, and it was 30 degrees outside, and I was standing in snow all day and everything else. But in this case, I was very fortunate to be able to listen to the call on the Coyote radio network, and John Thayer, fantastic, probably one of the best at describing the action as far as what's going on. And for almost every single other game, he's got Gary Culver with him, and he's got Jerry Paleschi, you know, friend of the show. And this particular game, they had another analyst in the booth with them. Chris Strevler was there as well. And Chris Strevler is fantastic. That guy could work for a major network breaking down football. He did a fantastic job during the game on Saturday, talking about what was happening, breaking things down, talking about, you know, if you do this, then this will happen, and those type of things. And what a just a absolute gem of a broadcast to highlight what was happening there.
It's on my list to go back and listen to it. I know he did the Missouri game. I believe it was last year as well. Like you say, Chad, he's just a natural. He just A+.
And I know I should know this. Is that on? Can you go back and listen to the game audio?
GoYotes.com.
Is it like under the Yotecast stuff?
It's under content, I believe. Yeah.
Content. Okay. Yeah. Cause I'm with you. I not that John and Jerry and Coach don't do a great job, but to have Chris there to provide that unique, different perspective. I mean, it's A+ broadcast to begin with, and then to bring in Strev, I need to go back and listen.
Yeah, and those of you that know me, every time I'm watching in the dome, I've got my little Sony Walkman with me, and I'm listening. I've got the earbuds in as well, so I always listen to those guys whether I'm at the game or not. But just spectacular call on Saturday, so shout out to those guys. But as far as the game went, some of the breakdown of stats here, you can see Total offense, the Yotes finished with 333 to South Dakota State's 330. 62 plays on that one. And then turnovers were, one of the things that helped the Yotes win this one. You can see that South Dakota did have a fumble, but didn't lose it. But, the interception that we'll talk about here in a little bit came up big. And then penalty-wise, other than the one on the coach, and I don't know if we want to ask him about it, but other than that one, for the most part, the Yotes played a really disciplined football game, and South Dakota State had 10 penalties for 87 yards the other day.
I don't know the number of false starts, but it had been at least 3 or 4. Was it 5?
5, what I heard.
Yeah,
I remember 3 distinctly, but yeah.
Yes, very much. No, the fans made a difference for sure in that game. 100%. Absolutely did.
And that's what fans should be doing when the other team has a quarterback who hasn't played a whole lot previously and things like that. I mean, that's how you make a difference and change the game a little bit.
Yep.
Well, as far as individuals go, Aiden Bauman finished the game 14 for 21 for 158 yards and a touchdown. LJ Phillips had 27 carries for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. Lorenzo Fenner, 4 catches for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. They obviously were listening to us last week when we said they got to get him the ball more. But guys, that one catch, the one where he laid out, I don't know if you watched. I watched that replay about a dozen times. That was spectacular.
He slid so far, and with that turf, it made me think of the old Astro turf. He might have been able to slide through the wall. I thought with how soft and squishy our turf is, our new turf, he slid like 5-6 yards. You're right. Great catch. Did that end up on SportsCenter or no?
Should have.
I don't think anyone watches that show anymore.
I have been a week without ESPN, and life's been okay still. So
yeah. Gabriel Hardman, 7 total tackles, a forced fumble, and a sack. Roman Tillman, 7 total tackles and a TFL. Caden Crawford, 6 tackles. Matt Walsh, 6 tackles. And then Dewan Lewis, 5 total tackles. And then the biggest interception, the most clutch interception that you could have ever predicted in that game.
Yeah. Another great catch. Great catch. Yeah. The one thing about these stats is that I would just point out, like, if we went back to a game we lost, I think the stats are similar, right? It's just a matter of, I think it just goes to show how close we were. I know people were getting down and wondering what the heck was wrong, but the margin for error is obviously razor thin, because here we are celebrating a win over South Dakota State. Maybe we're in the playoffs. Maybe we need to win next week, but the stats look the same as a game we dropped. So I think,
and I feel like I mentioned that too, Mark. Close up of me. No, I'm not questioning you. The Illinois State game, I think I mentioned it right after that. I felt like we lost that more than they won. No disrespect to Illinois State, but I thought like the Yotes lost that game versus Illinois State's ability to win it. Like we should have been able to win that, but that's in the past now.
Well, and then Mark, you put this on here. Shout out to the punters.
Yeah,
we're gonna clip this and get Pat McAfee to retweet it. So I thought the punting was amazing by both dudes. Obviously, Tyler Ebel for us and their guy combined for 3 over 50, a couple inside the 20, and just every punt was just you kind of thought, hey, they're gonna punt here and we're gonna get good field position. Now he's gonna hit it 60 yards and we're inside the 20. So the punting was A+. Shout out Pat McAfee for the brand.
All right. Did we wait long enough so you can clip that? Okay.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I was waiting for too.
Okay, good. Not very often do you see 2 punters both average over 48 yards per punt in a game.
They were
with 4 punts each. Yeah, that's spectacular. All right. Well, any final notes here from the game, gentlemen?
Well, I think we'll see it in the next slide, but lo and behold, we're in second place in the Valley.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. So the next thing, the Missouri Valley Football Conference standings, South Dakota, right where we thought they'd be at the beginning of the season, near the top.
Yep.
Second place right now with that 5-2 conference record. And yeah, probably not how we thought we'd all get there, but that's what's going on right now.
Here we are. Yeah.
There was another big game up in North Dakota, and North Dakota State won that one. So they're still 7-0. But yeah, South Dakota, really good place to be right now, especially with head-to-head wins over North Dakota and South Dakota State. So
what a crazy ending to that one, too. Did you guys see that? North Dakota had a driving chance to win the game, and just a beautiful play by the defensive back of North Dakota State to pick it off. I believe in the end zone or just shy of the end zone, but UND right there. I mean, the Valley, just crazy every week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Year in and
So
year out.
I mean, are we thinking, 5? I don't know. We can leave this to other people to figure out, but 5 teams get in the playoffs, 6 teams get. I mean, look at the records here, guys. This is just absolutely. I don't know.
I mean, Youngstown is not. I mean, there's 7 teams that are in contention for probably 5 spots. I don't know. With the Ivy League being a part of the playoffs now, I don't know.
Well, they used to say, maybe I'm dreaming that up, but they used to say 5 wins in the Valley would get you in the playoffs. Now,
yeah,
there seems to be some question about South Dakota needing to win, and I suppose that's the mentality you should have anyway. But yeah, you're right. Like, there's, I don't know how many teams, 6, 7 teams there within a half game of each other for second place. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, we'll leave that for other people to discuss. We could sit here and make all kinds of speculation and everything.
Or they say leave that to the suits to decide. Yeah.
The national pundits and everyone else. Who knows what's going on?
Oh, the ones. Oh, I thought. Yeah, the FCS ones. Don't trust the ESPN guys that show. What was it? They showed UND highlights for NDSU, and not good.
All right,
hey, take care of business on Saturday.
Let's talk volleyball.
Sure.
How's that sound? Volleyball, in addition, had another spectacular week. I feel like this has become a thing here the last 3-4 weeks we've been talking about. But volleyball went down to Omaha. No, yeah, went down. They didn't go to Omaha. We got the title wrong on this slide, Mark. Volleyball hosted Omaha on Thursday night in the SCSC in front of 1,100 fans, over 1,100 fans, and proceeded to not play well in the first set. Dropped that one 25-14. The group text, if I go back and look, was not looking too optimistic. And I said, hey, guys, we've seen this before. Don't worry. It'll be okay. And guess what? Everything was okay. The Yotes won sets 2, 3, and 4, 25-17, 25-17, 25-21.
Yeah, that first set was ugly, I would say. It was ugly. Slow starters for whatever reason.
Well, let's pull up some of the stats here. Cameron Ferris had 0 kills on that one, so we got to work on that, Cameron. But Avery Van Hook had a spectacular game here as well. No, Cameron had a great game as well, but Avery Van Hook, 26, just doing her thing, 26 assists, the sets, and then 18 digs in this one against Omaha. Friend of the show, Avery Van Hook, shout out to you. And then a name that we've been mentioning throughout the season here the past few weeks, Audrey Nelson, 10 kills against Omaha. Spectacular.
Yep. Once we got that first set out of the way, 2, 3, and 4 were Yote volleyball and looked really good doing it. So still a name you don't see on the list here, and you won't see here. Lauren Medic still has not played here for the past couple of weeks. So hopefully she's close. No longer in a boot, visually confirmed by yours truly. So getting closer.
All right. Well, also shout out Amanda Lotion, Morgan Bodie, doing their things, really high hitting percentages, just playing great volleyball. And then Ava Ball as well. She's really stepped up. You know, I think Coach talked about it in the post-game press conference here on Thursday night, but playing that 6 rotation around there as a true freshman, that's pretty big. So Good job by the whole crew. Omaha, where is Omaha, Mark?
Goodness
Right.
gracious.
It's right there.
The same
I don't think
house.
we're not on Spotify anymore, so this is a visual aid here. You can see for yourself where Omaha is, and
It's right in the middle of the country, right? So yeah.
I think I see Runza.
it's right around the corner. Yeah.
Of all the pictures on the internet, to get
Mark,
a
I don't
better-
want to see your search history, Mark. I don't know what you had to type in to find this.
It took some trying, unfortunately. But
Did you
yes,
literally just type in Omaha belly button and this is what came
I don't
up?
want to talk about how I got here.
All right, that's fine.
All right. So then on Saturday, the Yotes hosted Kansas City, hosted the Roos. Senior day. If you guys have not gone out and seen Cameron Ferris, they do a spectacular job with this every single year. But Cameron Ferris just reading her story and giving the thank yous. I mean, gosh, try to watch that video without getting a little misty eyed.
If you haven't seen it yet, just search the South Dakota volleyball. Scroll down just to, I don't know, quite a ways, maybe 10, 12 posts, and about 4 or 5 minute video. And it's beautifully done. I love when they do that, those types of videos.
Yeah. Great job by Cameron. Great job by the social media crew and everyone at USD on that one. Coaches, there were pictures in there of Cameron, friend of the show she was on last week with us, and just a great person and a great Yote. And so just fantastic. And the Yotes came out and contested set one here, but dropped that one 27-25.
You know why they dropped the first one though?
Here we go.
That's when Nicole and I walked in. They were up by 2 or 3 there, set point, and so that's our fault.
So you turned around and left?
No.
Oh, you stayed, and then we still won. Okay, interesting. So set 2, 25-13, set 3, 25-15, and set 4, 25-12. Sounds like domination to me.
I don't know who it was, but at tailgate when we got back out, like volleyball won. Yep. Let me guess, they lost the first set again. We're like, yes, they did.
Yeah. The interesting thing is the 2 against South Dakota State, we've won the first set on those ones.
I know. So now it makes me nervous if we win the first set. It's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose. No, it just dominating performance. We got there at the end of the first set, like I said, so I wasn't able to see that, but I thought the other 3 they're having so much fun. And obviously when you're winning like that, it's a little bit more fun, but just a great match.
Well, you can see some of the stats here. Cameron Ferris on senior day, no kills. But had led the team with 22 digs, doing her thing, doing what she does. So great job, Cameron. Avery Van Hook, not only did she have 37 set assists in this one, she also hit 444. I don't know if I mentioned, but on Thursday, Cole Larsh gave her the shout out, the Van Hook shot. So shout out Cole Larsh for doing that. But fun to watch there. And then you can see Audrey Nelson doing her thing, Morgan Bodie doing her thing, Amanda Lotion. I mean, just go down the sheet here. It's just everyone's contributing. Ava Ball. You had Amelia Duggar with 1.5 points in this one. Lots of great volleyball and people, playing and doing their thing. So,
yeah. It's always nice when they get Amelia in. I know she's coming off a pretty devastating knee injury, and when she checks in, you can see all the girls are really pulling for her to do well, and she scored a point there, and they were noticeably happy for her. So congrats to Amelia for coming back from that. I was right in front of it when it happened. So yeah, glad she's back.
Yeah, it's it's something. And then thank you to Cameron Ferris. We brought this up earlier, but on senior day, for her to get recognized in front of everyone, spectacular. She's been an all-time great Yote.
Yeah, for sure. A+. Impeccable penmanship, by the way, too.
All right. Also, Mark mentioned earlier, Coach Williamson, most wins in Summit League history, not in one day, goodness gracious, but for career-wise here, Summit League history, most wins.
You mentioned earlier, Chad, but I mean, she's just not only a terrific coach, but a terrific person. Got a great staff and puts together great kids to come play for USD. So all around, couldn't be happier for her. Congrats.
Yeah. Congrats, Coach. We got the GOAT. Can we say GOAT now? We've got the GOAT.
Yep. Greatest of all time.
Yes.
All right. Well, where are we at as far as Summit League standings then?
Ooh.
Much like the football team. I think it's the same win percentage, actually, even. Maybe.
741, I think, is football.
Oh, okay. Dyslexic.
Close. Dyslexic. Tight at the top there.
Yeah, kind of right where we thought we'd be ish, I would think.
Yeah.
And the Yotes have one left. St. Thomas, I'm assuming, has two left here. But the Yotes do have the tiebreaker over St. Thomas because of the head-to-head matchup. So.
Yeah. Home match against NDSU to close out the season.
Right.
Yeah, gonna be fun. Looks like definitely for sure top 4 seed.
Yeah. I think. Well, we have Oral Roberts and North Dakota
Oral
State
Roberts coming up this week, and then what?
Yeah.
So and then we got what left after that? I should pull up the schedule here and take a look.
I think that's
North
it.
Dakota State.
I think it's just 2, isn't it? Play 16, 8 times 2.
Yep, Oral Roberts, and then the November 18th game, Tuesday night at the SCSC.
That'll be a fun one.
North Dakota State. Yep.
We should put that on a slide later, maybe.
That'll be on next week's show.
It is on a slide later.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, women's basketball, guys.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Basketball season came up this week, too. My goodness, we're already over an hour, and we just are getting into talking about basketball.
But crack open another legacy.
Yep. Women's basketball team hosted York on Monday night. This one, never in doubt. End of the first quarter, it was 30-2. Halftime, 51-8. I mean, you guys were there. How different is this team?
Completely. It's
completely
as great and as awesome as Grace Larkins was last year, a friend of the show. It is a much better product to visually sit and watch this year's squad. It's hard to describe how different it is, really. It's super fun and got a group of some really special athletes, quick, fast. They share the ball. I don't know. It's just fun.
Scrappy. And you can tell that they're bought in. Not to say last year's wasn't, but I mean, to be frank, you can tell they're bought in a lot more this year. These are players that really trust the coaches, and it's fun. I mean, we're going to talk about it all season, but get to these games for the men's basketball, obviously too. But for those that have doubts, it's still rebuilding. This team they're fast, they're physical, they're scrappy on defense. A couple of freshmen that are going to be absolute superstars at USD as well.
Yeah. So if you pull up the stat line here, pull up the stat line and take a look, you can see some of the names that are on here. This one was a little bit challenging because it was such a one-sided score. And so you're going to see a lot of names in here, and you know, a lot of people played a lot of minutes on Monday night, which is good. But you know, it's one of those things where I think as the Yotes rolled around and played on Friday again against Air Force at the SCSC, you kind of saw a little bit more of, you know, some of the rotation stuff that maybe we talked to Coach about a couple weeks ago when we had her on. In this case, you know, this was a tightly contested game at halftime, very close game, first half back and forth a little bit, and then came out the third quarter and played tough. And the Yotes had a lead going into the fourth, but then the fourth quarter just put it on them. And that was fun basketball. This was the 11 o'clock start game. This was the Education Day game. Vermilion School was out there. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but you can see some of the stats from this one. Angelina Robles finished with 22 points in this one, and she was everywhere on the court. Patience Williams, watching her down in the low post in the blocks. She's got great moves down there. That was fun to see. And then, you know, you see some of the other young ladies on here that had some good stuff. As far as everything goes, very impressed with how the Yotes season has started here. But one of the coolest moments, I thought it was fun, that happened during the game on Friday was in the fourth quarter. The Yotes were kind of pulling away, and we'll go ahead and we'll let our good friends Jay Elson and Brad Newitt kind of describe what was happening.
Tries to throw it up and in transition. We get a late foul call there. That's going to send Schlegel to the free throw line. Whistle was late. The 2 free throws coming up here, Brad, and I don't know if you've realized what the score is right now, but if she hits them both, this place might go real nuts.
Well, if you've been wondering what the noise level in here is all about, there's about 1,000 kindergarten through 8th grade students from the Vermilion area that brought a ton of energy this morning to this game. It's been a great environment, and there's a couple kids at home. I know you do too.
Yeah.
You've been informed of the significance.
66 points on the board for South Dakota. If she misses, there's going to be a lot of disappointed youngsters. She does not.
Look at the USD bench. Everyone, yep, all right. Okay.
6-7 to 4-6 here in Vermilion. South Dakota on top of Air Force. Tori Schlegel just became a whole bunch of kids' favorite player.
I was watching that and I was rolling laughing when that happened. Number one, spectacular job by Jay Elson and Brad Newitt and the entire Midcoast Sports crew to understand the situation, the moment, everything else. And then how cool was it? I mean, I've watched this video probably, I don't know, a couple dozen times. But how cool was it that the bench knew what was happening? They got up and were doing the whole 6-7 thing. You know, the crowd was doing. I mean, that was fun. Shouldn't sports be fun once in a while?
Us old farts should be more like kids and just find a way to have a fun at a basketball game or a sporting event. That's the way to go.
The camera cuts were great. I mean, you'd see the adults sitting in there and there's like, what the hell is going on? Or like they're laughing with it. Like, I don't know what's happening, but okay.
Yeah. I picked up my daughters Friday afternoon, and the very first thing the kids said when they got in the car was, "Dad, we were at a basketball game and we scored 67 points." So Naomi said they started the 6-7 chant in her little section when we had 61 points. They started the countdown. So yeah, just like you say, great job by Jay and Brad to recognize what was about to happen and caption it all. And sounds like it's done some numbers on Instagram. So.
Yeah. As of earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, sitting at 3.3 plus million views, 227,000 shares, and 214,000 likes on Instagram.
Wow.
So we should get are we on Instagram? We should get on Instagram.
Come on, Mark.
I don't know how to use
one final thing on the women's team too, just really, really quick. Mark and I were talking about this too. I think we looked it up, Mark. We averaged 5.5 offensive rebounds a game last year. And I know that was a frustration with fans last year. Like, go get a board, go rebound. Once again, this team is very different. And at times it was kind of, like any other game with any other team, like, come on, crash the boards. But I believe 19 and 12 or something along those lines, the first 2 games of just offensive rebounds. So it's much better, much improved, a good difference to have.
A fun product, a very fun product.
Mark, go ahead and clip Jordan's little segment there, and then clip Coach Amy's response a couple weeks ago on the show.
Defensive rebound.
Yep. I think we'll make this happen. As far as men's basketball, they also played this week and had a little bit of a heartbreaker on Monday night. This one was in overtime against Utah Tech, and God, this one, it was so close here for the group. Just couldn't quite pull it out. A lot of guys playing together for the first time and trying to find those rotations and everything and what's going on. But, it was 30-29 at halftime, and then all tied up at the end of regulation. And you can see, in overtime, it was a 2-point game. 81-79 was the final, but the Yotes ended up on the wrong end of this one.
Yeah, Utah Tech. Oh, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, I honestly don't remember much about this game. A lot has happened since that game, so I wish I could offer some deep analysis, but
biggest thing that stood out to me is they matched our speed. So I don't know. I know that they weren't a very good team last year. If I remember right, they got a lot of transfers in to try to fix that. But I thought they were physical. They were long. They matched the intensity and the speed. I don't know how many opponents are going to be able to do that toe-to-toe with the Yotes this year, but it's the first game, right? As we've seen with other Summit League teams and non-con, there's some scary scores. So usually the first few weeks, it's just getting used to playing competitively together. And I thought there were some good things in this game, but here's the box score here.
Yep. You can see Isaac Bruns led the team with 23 points. Evan Anderson also hit double digits. Shea Eberwine with 9 in this one, but turnovers 14 in this one versus only 7 assists for the Yotes, and 3-point shooting was not good. 2 for 17 on Monday night.
And I know Coach said after the game too, they wanted to get Cam more touches, and they need to work on that, which they did for the next game.
Well, speaking of the next game, the Yotes then traveled down to where?
The Belly Button.
The Belly Button took on Creighton on Wednesday night. This one was in front of 16,000 fans down in Omaha. And this one, the Yotes hung in there the first half. And I was very impressed. We had to figure out how to get Mark access to Peacock so he could watch this one. But, the Yotes, I thought, hung right with Creighton, and Creighton's a top 25 team right now. And to make it a pretty respectable score at the end, I thought was pretty good showing by the Yotes.
They had a chance to get it to single digits right before half there, and some things went awry. But yeah, like you say, they hung in there. And had they got it to single digits in that first half, who knows what happens in the second? It's kind of how momentum in basketball works. But no, I thought they fought hard, and they didn't get the doors blown off them by any stretch. So I thought it was a respectable showing for them.
And you're right. I thought they had so many opportunities at point blank, within 10 feet, just shots that you're like, you guys gotta make those, right? And then Creighton would use that, but great looks, just couldn't convert on a lot. And Mark, you're right. If they're converting on even half of those, this is a very close game going into the second half.
Yeah, you could see Isaac Bruns led the Yotes in scoring in this one with 16. Jordan Crawford had 14, and then Vince Buzelis had 12 in this one. And Vince is going to be a star, I think, guys. He's playing good basketball right now.
Yep. 21 offensive rebounds as well. That was partially due to us missing layups and getting our own rebounds.
That's for the whole team, not just for Vince.
Correct. Yes, team. Correct. Maybe it's not a record, but yeah. And again, our assist to turnover is probably not where PD wants it at this point, but
this is a good non-con game to have, though. This is a good.
Mhm.
Yep.
Measuring stick.
Good measuring stick.
Hopefully in March we're talking about, well, against Creighton this happened, and so that's
well, when we're net cutting and we're getting that, I don't know, 13, 14 seed, I'm sure we'll get a rematch with Creighton.
well, hopefully we're talking about at 12 because of how we played against Creighton.
That's yeah, give me that 12.
That's what we got to look for.
Yep.
All right. So then today the Yotes hosted Ozark Christian Sunday afternoon, 1:00. Not as many fans in attendance in this one, but guys, this one was over early. I think I Sharpied this one with like 5 minutes left in the first half. It was not very competitive. Not anyone's fault, but it's just, it is what it is. Once in a while you get these type of games. The Yotes put up 72 in the first half. 72. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's NBA numbers.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch today.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Well, a couple guys I was impressed with. So first off, Isaac Bruns put up 14 in this one. Jordan Crawford had 11. So Isaac's hit double digits in all 3 games so far. Mr. Consistent, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But look at 14 points and how many minutes did Isaac play?
11.
11 minutes.
Good.
Yeah,
11. That's a pretty good points per minute ratio there. And Cameron Fenn's only played 10 minutes. These are the type of games where you want to rest these guys a little bit. But that meant some opportunities were out there for some of the other players. And so Jesse McIntosh took advantage of those opportunities, put 22 minutes in and scored 20 points. Porter Enan, local kid here from Lenox, South Dakota, had a double-double in this one, 20 points, 13 rebounds. And he had a lot of energy out there on the court this afternoon.
Yeah. He was after it. Yep.
Is he perfect? 9 of 9 from the field too.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice job, Porter.
And one of 1 from the free throw line. That's always good. So it didn't miss a shot the entire time. 9 of 9 and 1 for 1. Good stuff there. And just lots of great stuff all around. You can see in this one the assist to turnover ratio shifted up a little bit.
Better. Yeah. And I don't know if anyone follows Higher Power Sports on Twitter. I retweeted it, but he has a really nice post about what Ozark Christian's going to do with the money that USD paid him to come get their butts kicked today. Kind of a pay it forward kind of a deal, kind of a neat deal. I'll retweet it. I think I already have, but go check that out. Kind of a cool deal.
All right. Well, I think we've covered all the games that happened. It took a while. We're in crossover season.
We got to talk faster.
Yeah, I know. We got to figure something out here, but we did pick our DQ Howling Podcast Player of the Week. Jordan?
You're froze. What was that?
Do you want to introduce the DQ Howling Podcast Player of the Week?
Yes. DQ Howling Podcast Player of the Week, back-to-back weeks. LJ Phillips Jr. III, 27 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. This was hard we didn't want to go back-to-back because there were other great student athlete performances, in volleyball, women's basketball. It's hard. I mean, swimming and diving. Yes. It's just hard not to pick him again this week. He was a monster, one of the main difference makers in the game. So congrats, LJ, on back-to-back Player of the Week wins presented by Dairy Queen, Vermilion, Hartford, Del Rapids.
He earned it. No doubt about that.
Absolutely did.
All right. Well, what's coming up this week, Mark?
This week, we are at Southern Illinois, Saturday at noon. I looked it up. It's a 10-hour drive from Vermilion. So if anyone wants to cut work with me on Friday, I could probably be talked into making a roadie with you. Volleyball will be at Oral Roberts on Saturday. Women's basketball has 3 games this week. Hosting Buena Vista Monday at 7. Then on the road to Kansas State on Thursday. And then really putting on some miles going to Idaho State 3 p.m. on Sunday. Men's
I'm
basketball.
excited. I'm excited about those guys. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want to see how the Yotes match up against Kansas State and Idaho State.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
far is
very
Manhattan, Kansas from?
We'll worry about that later on.
Well, if you go from the belly button, anyway, men's basketball. This is another spicy one in my humble opinion. If you guys remember, the post-game handshake line versus Southern Indiana at their place last year was a little
Yes.
spicy.
I think I got a couple million views on Twitter for that one.
Right. We never did get the story, but so very interested in that one. And then we also host Western Michigan on Sunday at 1 p.m. So get out, support the Yotes. I think we got some good things going there. So
Absolutely. Well, I think we covered everything. If we didn't, I'm sure Mark will hear about it.
I will.
Yeah, tweet at Mark.
Yes.
But before we wrap up our show, like we always do about this time,
And that's just what they wanted to do there.
And all things considered, again, as you see the Eyechart cardboard cutout, how appropriate.
Through the review, the Eyechart made its way to the video board. It really injected
Let's go, Mark.
some energy.
our own Mark Wendt is famous for holding up that Eyechart at USD men's and women's basketball games and in the future swim meets when officials make questionable calls. So we give our Eyechart of the week moments for questionable calls, whether they happened in games or in life over the past week. As far as the Eyechart goes, we did have some nominees or some picks last week, and we put it out there on Twitter for people to vote, and we had over 13,000 votes on this one. And the Veristy Pub watch party ended up winning this Eyechart of the week. And then there was a tie for second place. So, Mark, you had the watch party. Therefore, it's the Eyechart of the week is yours this week.
I should nominate myself for spelling. But I'm not. I'm going to nominate fans that are attending either games in the SCSC or the Dakota Dome. I don't know what the Dakota Dome looked like, but I know in the SCSC, we have not figured it out yet. The grab and go concessions are almost completely unused, near as I can tell. If you're not buying a beer, the grab and go concessions are the way to go. You grab your own stuff. There'll be a gal in the booth a guy or gal will help you pay for it, and it'll reduce the lines at the concession stand. They're there. I know they're there. I've used them. We just got to get people figured out. And Chad did a great one on this, explained it way better than I ever will. But for the sake of time, the people not using grab and go concessions get my Eyechart of the week.
All right. Well, Jordan, since we tied, I'll let you go next.
Okay. This was hard for me. I personally had a really good week. No main issues. The only thing that came to mind right before the show, my Eyechart is going to be $5. Now, before I say this, I know as well as anyone, I budget dollar for dollar. I know times are tough. But the reason I'm doing $5 is just the whole hoopla around the Dakota Dome and USD charging $5 for the state football championships upcoming this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Other states do it for championship level events. Brookings did it back in 2019 when they hosted for the 1 year. This isn't something new. $5 is the cost of, it's less than a dome dog. So people that were complaining about the $5, I don't know what to tell you. If you carpool, it's less than less than $1.50 a piece. Have someone buy you a dome dog. The whole backlash that it got, I hate fees as much as anyone. But you have to understand why USD is doing it. Nobody else or everybody else kind of already does this. So if you're not coming to support your high school team because USD is charging only $5 for parking, chances are you weren't coming anyways to support your team. So I know that could be a hot take, and I understand every side of the controversy of the whole $5 thing. I do, but to me, it just was like it's $5. You're gonna come watch your team. Just plan around it. So $5 gets my Eyechart of the week.
I will tell you guys, I was at the South Dakota High School Activities Association All-State Chorus and Orchestra event at the T. Denny Sanford Premier Center here in Sioux Falls a few weeks ago. And for VIP parking, which was near the building for that one, parking was $10 per vehicle. If you wanted to park further away and walk, you certainly could. But I'm just saying that this is not a unique thing.
Yeah.
All right. My Eyechart of the week goes to Xcel Energy. Saturday morning, I was expecting to wake up to a little bit of snow. Very pleased when I got out of bed and opened my curtains, and there was more than a little bit of snow. There was about 2.5 inches on the ground when I got out of bed. Went ahead and went outside, made one of my weather videos that are famous, and all those type of things. And then shortly after that, the power went out. Not just at my house, in the entire town of T in which I reside, as well as parts of Harrisburg and Sioux Falls. Xcel Energy, if we can't handle 2.5 inches of snow without the power going out, what are we doing here? Figure it out, Xcel Energy. Come on. Eyechart of the week.
Can I add a fan submission one? He went to bed. He commented on Facebook. Oh, you do have it. Okay. All right. So fan submitted Eyechart. I hate to talk out of turn. Time for me to go to bed. My Eyechart of the week nominee is Mr. Jordan John. That's me. He was caught on camera, although lacking evidence, said photo was not saved. Dare I say, enjoying an ears up adult beverage during yesterday's festivities. Have at him, Chad and Mark. So Mark and I were there, tailgate. I had promised a handful of SDSU fans that I'd be willing to try Ears Up, their Fernson's local brew for SDSU, in exchange for a legacy for them to try. So I really enjoy Fernson beers, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. Like I tweeted out, I thought it was good. It wasn't my favorite, but I thought it was good, but can understand the backlash of why people don't like it. But to be fair, they really enjoyed Legacy. Some even liked it more, but it was before the game. I did not have it during the game because you cannot bring beers into the dome from outside, right, everybody? But yes, I did have an Ears Up beer before the game, and I thought it was good. Thought it was okay. So have at me, guys.
Well, I think that's all. Nothing. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, honestly, huge SDSU homer Matt Zimmer picked the Legacy over the other beer on the John Gaskin show this past week. I mean, and Zimmer hammered 4 or 5 of those things. If you look at the footage, I mean, he had empties in front of him all over the place. So he was enjoying the Legacy from our friends at 19 Brewing Company.
As he should.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our Eyechart of the week. We'll give all of you the chance to vote on those nominees, and you can tell us who you think deserves the Eyechart of the week. Before we take off, though, we did want to mention, if you or anyone else needs to talk to someone about whatever, do so. 988 is available for you. You can call, you can text, you can chat. Okay? There's nothing off limits here. If you need help, reach out. Go get that help. We want you to be a part of Yote Nation and cheer everyone on. And so go out there and go to the helpline center and utilize that 988 resource. I don't know if I have to say anything else about that.
Well said.
Good.
Amen.
There we go.
All right. Additionally, special thanks to our title sponsor, 19 Brewing Company in Main Street, Vermilion, South Dakota. Make sure to go in, try some of the fantastic food, the Legacy. Jordan, hold that up one more time.
Yes, Legacy blonde.
When I do want your fingers in front of the screen, that's when you don't put them there. So
you guys see it?
Yeah, there we go. Go try. Put it up.
Oh, jeepers creepers.
There we go. Okay, go get a Legacy.
There you go.
Or try one of the other amazing products that they have, made in Vermilion. Go out there, support 19 Brewing Company, and make sure to tell them the Howling Podcast sent you.
I would have gotten a manicure if I knew my nails were going to get that close on the camera. Jeepers. Warn a guy.
Well, did you watch the show 2 weeks ago? Also, thank you to our sponsor, Dairy Queen, DQ. Amazing partnership. We've talked about them. Go out, try those new Christmas holiday-inspired flavors, frosted sugar cookie, everything else. We want to hear about it. If you take a photo with DQ, you might be featured on the show. And so just saying, go ahead and take a selfie, take a family photo, you and DQ, get the kids out, do whatever you need to do. Send it to us, tweet at us, whatever you need to do. We might feature those on the show going forward. Anything else?
No.
All right.
Probably going to be wearing some USD clothes tomorrow. Great week, fellas. Great week.
Yep. It's going to be a great week. As always, the Howling Podcast is produced by the Wakanda Peach Company, LLC, out of Burbank, South Dakota. Special thanks to all of our guests here, but Coach Mahowald was awesome. Swimming and diving is going to be a great season this year. Looking forward to everything happening this week. For Jordan Decker and Mark Wendt, I'm Chad Berger. Until next time,
go
Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Let's go!
3 idiots on a podcast.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Bill.
Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on. Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened. Just
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson, USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.